don't do it. We don't do it. Promoter, sorry for your things here, but we don't move it. We don't do it. We don't do it. Promoter, sorry for this place. So flatten everything that you see. Drop everything that you see. Run with everything that you see. Lift up everything that you see. Flatten everything that you see. Drop everything that you see. Run with everything that you see. Lift up everything that you see. Why? Nothing to say. Nothing to say.
SVG.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Explicit, boy.
For the last time today, Roleza and Dianna are back with more talk time on Activated Mornings right here on the Clean Fresh Sound and 99.9 WEFM. Of course, this session is called the Talk to Us. Now, what does that mean? It means that you can give us a call by dialing 457-9997, and you can get us with WhatsApp, you can get us with the direct line, and propose your own topic. So you've heard us had discussions all morning, and you can start your own discussion as long as it is radio worthy. Okay, so give us a call if you wish to do that. Otherwise, we're going to talk about our own thing. And the time has gone, and we're going to move right on. Okay, so I'm just going to make an announcement here. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Save the Children Fund, or VinSave, will be having its annual general meeting on July 31st at 4:30 p.m. at the VinSave Auditorium. The meeting is called to approve the minutes of the last annual general meeting, to accept reports from the Executive Director, Board of Directors, and committees, and to accept auditors' report. If you wish to get more information on this, you can contact VinSave at 456-1790. And now,
I was just going to say something as you were playing some of those Grenadian tracks. And if anybody in Vincy know who does the really good oil down, I don't know if anybody here in Vincy does oil down, please let me know. Please put me on to that person. My mouth longs to eat a really decent oil down, right?
Go to Grenada.
Yeah, straight down just for oil down. Oh gosh. Now, but like there are certain foods, like I wish like we had like a Caribbean themed restaurant where you could get different dishes. Maybe they could even alternate it. Let's say today is a Grenadian day, tomorrow is a Jamaican day, just to be able to eat different dishes from the different Caribbean islands. Of course, for anybody starts, I'm not neglecting my own Vinci food because I'm always eating it, but every now and again, sometimes like on a Friday, I'll be like, what should I eat today? So, sometimes just to have that variety, to have that difference, it would be good. And I think one of the things is exposing children or younger persons, or people who don't get to travel to different cuisine, because you could only get really and truly you could only get certain things if you go to somebody else's country. But if we could have a central place here, that'd be good. So maybe somebody considering opening a restaurant. Here's an idea for
let me go to the bank and get us sorted, eh?
Yeah, no, serious. I am so serious. Like my mouth right now could just do with a really decent oil down. I love oil down. It's an expensive dish to do, but I love oil down. Yeah.
All right, so persons, see if all could help out Roleza there.
And let me just say good morning to Mr. Gibson at Midway Butchers. Yeah, I thought about oil down and Mr. Gibson, the same thought. So Mr. Gibson at Midway Butchers, just good morning to you. I know you always listen, but we haven't heard from you in a while, but just saying good morning to you.
All right. Now, Roleza, I got a question for you. If your friend is getting married, right? A friend of yours, you're really good friends, or it could just be, you don't have to be really close or good friends, but just a normal friend, or maybe a family member, they're getting married. What would be a reason that you would consider a very, very valid reason to not go to this wedding?
An impending natural disaster or What else would cause me? I mean, sickness could also cause me to not attend. If I don't like the groom, in case it's a female. If I don't like the groom and I'm insistent that, you are making a terrible choice, I do not want to be there to stand witness. Yeah, that might be it. Okay. Me and somebody followed the day before. Possibly that could also work too, yeah.
If you and somebody followed the day before?
Me and, one of them, whether it's a groom or, the potential groom or bride, if we followed the day before.
If you and your groom partner followed, you're going wedding still? Like the guy you're supposed to walk up the aisle with?
Or if me and him fall out, it depends on what we follow so far. If we fall out because I found out he was cheating, then yeah.
But if
it's not going to happen, that wedding is not going to go through. I ain't saving face for anybody.
What if it's not your boyfriend? It's just a regular groomsman. Let's say a relative of the bride or the groom, and y'all just had some argument or something and just fall out. Would you go still just walk up the aisle by yourself?
I would go, but we just be paired with somebody else. I could just be paired with somebody else.
I had nobody else to pair with.
Well, I walk by myself. I walk by myself and go up. Yeah.
All right. So where are we going with this discussion? Well, I was in the news and saw that a couple got married in floodwaters. Like the building was flooded. The persons who attended the wedding did attend. No, they didn't get as many guests as they were supposed to, but they had that wedding while the place was flooded. And I was thinking, would you really go to a wedding if the place is flooded and the bride and groom insist that they're still going to get married? Like, would you go? Imagine the money. Are you going to go bare feet or with the shoe that you probably spent a good bit of money on? And listen to me, wedding preparations ain't cheap, so are you going to go in the floodwaters and ruin your beautiful dress that you could possibly use again, ruin your beautiful shoes? Would you be willing to take that risk? And then I decided to see what other conditions might have occurred and persons still decided to get married. Turns out that persons have gotten married in a hurricane. And I can't think of a single person that I love that much that I want to see you get married so bad that I am going to be attending your wedding in a hurricane, Roleza. I mean, would you think that the bride and groom are being inconsiderate for continuing to have their wedding during a storm? Or do you think that they just really love each other and they just want to get this over with instead of putting it off?
They could love each other and they could call the minister. And if the minister prays before going, the two of them could stand before that minister and that would be it.
Because the same pray before going.
But why would you want to possibly put the safety of your loved ones in danger? Exactly. Right? To me, that is being very inconsiderate. Yes, I can appreciate that. Preparing for the wedding is going to cost money. But you think of it, if it's a hurricane, you would know in advance that it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So let's say even the caterers. That's because food is the quicker thing that I might that could quicker spoil, right? So money could go down drain with regards to the catering, but if the caterer is already aware, if you are already aware that there's an impending hurricane, then you put everything else on hold.
Maybe they think, like how in Vinci when we hear there's something coming, we say, that gonna pass.
Oh no, maybe. No. But you can't put the safety of your loved ones in danger. I mean, is everybody, let's say, at a hotel already? Are all the guests already there at a hotel? Because if they aren't, it means that they have to drive to that location. Responsible for, let's say they get to the location safely, they may not make it back home safely. Yep. There could be issues of landslides, flooding, any number of reasons. And me personally, not standing up in no dirty water, shoes are not, water boots are not. I'm not standing in any dirty water to watch you get married. Nah, that's madness.
I just found this thing so interesting, and I wish I could speak to these couples to find out why you insisted on continuing with your wedding, knowing that it's something that you can put off. You can put off the date to another time, For one that got married in a hurricane, they didn't get as many guests as they were supposed to get.
Just to know that this is a true story, Dianna talking about it. She didn't make it up. It's actually a true story, but you could give them the
it is actually a true story. So there's an article on CNN. This one is about the flooding, right? And it's entitled Wet Wedding, Just a Test. Filipino couple ties not in flooded church during typhoon. Right? So Jade Rick and the name is spelled like Jamaica, but I'm not sure if it's pronounced Jamaica, but I must say, it looks like it's Spanish. I must say Jamaica Aguilar were determined to walk down the aisle on their wedding day, even if it meant walking down a flooded one. So on Tuesday in a particular church in a particular province in the Philippines, it flooded due to heavy rain because of a typhoon. Right? The couple anticipated the risk of flooding, but instead of letting the weather dampen the mood, they decided to push through, as all marriages have their challenges.
And that to me and all is silliness. So I mean, the marriage have challenges. Yes, marriage would have challenges. But you bringing me into this challenge that is not even between the two of them.
Your dedication to us and how much you love us, and you're willing to go the extra mile with and for us.
Yeah, but you bringing me into your challenge that is as a result of a natural disaster. That doesn't count as a challenge to me.
Be my support system.
I can support you from home.
Stream the wedding live.
And I actually attended a wedding that was streamed before, so it could happen. You just,
So the couple says, we just mustered enough courage. We decided today because it is a sacrifice in itself, but there will be more sacrifices if we don't push through today. And like I said, it would be interesting to speak to these couples to see, what do you mean? What else are you going to have to push through? I mean, yeah, you'll have some issues, but what is going to be worse than getting married in a flood?
All right, I see James saying something else going on. Why that wedding needs to happen when it's happened, right? They probably thought that because maybe money was on the line. I wonder if it's a woman threatening him. I could joke about it.
Oh, good morning, my dear.
Good morning.
But you realize that it's for, what do you say when they get married? For better, for worse, for sickness, for health, for everything. So
in Hurricane Anna, which part of all say that?
That's it, better or worse.
That's madness.
It started off with the worst right away.
But that is their wedding vows. Don't include me in that.
Excuse me, if we could get better from there.
Right.
So you should support them in the worst, and when they get better, then you support them even more.
Not at all. Not with all kind of things floating around inside of this nasty flood water. No, please. Not I.
But look at it this way. The people spend all their money. They might not be able to do another spending like that, so they have to do it.
Probably. Probably.
I mean, if you could afford to kill all that food and throw it away or whatever, give it to some shelter, because naturally, if it's a disaster, there might be a shelter that need food. You could even take your wedding to the shelter and have a shelter party. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be. So you could find ways to counteract all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think it's the love that matters most. If they love each other enough to do it, then it's all good. Nobody should be.
They're real adventurous. That way I could say it. I must say an adventurous couple.
All right, Kojo.
All right.
Yeah, Lisa. All right.
Explicit boy.
All right, we have another call. Accents. Okay. Anita.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Dianna, what's up? Antadea. Hello?
Hi. Yes, we're hearing you. Hello?
Oh.
Okay.
What happened?
All right.
Hello?
Hi, Anita.
Oh, I don't know the call. Drop out. Listen, you guys sure that these people aren't Jews? Because Jews don't put off wedding or funeral, come what may.
Oh.
You
Okay.
know that?
No, we didn't. Mm-mm.
No, Jews don't put off wedding or funeral. If both are happening on the same day, one happen and one happen. I work for them here, so I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't. The real Orthodox don't Don't do that. And some of them bury the same day. They don't leave overnight. Yeah, the real Orthodox. Yes. So that might be one of the reason you don't know or whatever. As you said, come what may, for better or for worse. So they took the vow. Yes. All right, ladies, I am listening. I have not abandoned you guys. I am here still with you right through. Yes.
All right. Happy to hear it.
Hello.
All right.
Hello? Okay, so you
All right,
drop again.
Yeah. All right.
Just imagine it. Hurricane passing, your neighbors putting down there, battening down things. You see neighbors outside bringing in what they need to bring in. Are you well dressed going to wedding?
So here, what somebody got the life say, right? I got married 21 years ago. That day rain fell. It was a tropical storm that day. I guess God was showing a sign not to get married. It was so much flooding on that day. Now divorced. LOL. I actually don't have a problem getting married on a day when it's raining because I love the rain. So I have no problem with that. But if it's a tropical storm or hurricane, I'm not putting anybody in that danger. Hey, Dave, morning.
You're trudging through hurricane going wedding.
Oh, boy. You all exciting me this morning, man. This marriage thing. You see, that's why some people have different ways of tying the knot or getting married. People go to courthouse. People do things without having people, having a guests invited and all this elaborate preparation. I think it's a good thing that we go through these things and so on. But some of us are so bent on doing what we want to do for this. Yes, it's a special day. But what is most important in a wedding? What is most important? I don't think, yes, I know for some of us, especially Caribbean people, we love food, we love liquor, and them things. So if I was to get married to Dianna or to you, Roleza, and I humbly say, listen, what is important, if I say that, for me, what is important is the blessing, going to church, according to the biblical teaching, Christian teaching, and so on. And I said, all we want is that blessing, right? We don't expect all this elaborate thing and so on. And after that, you want to know why you prepare all this elaborate stuff for. Something to think about. So, but then again, I know the talk. Mother-in-law want this, father-in-law want this. On both sides, they have their... but when you reach, well, I guess if you're grown and mature, experienced, you can make the decision and know what you're getting, know why you want to get married and the real reason or meaning behind marriage. That's all I'll say. Happy wedding to whoever.
All right, Dave.
Man, I'm thinking about the pastor as well. And imagine being the pastor and you hear a hurricane coming. You had to officiate this wedding. You hear a hurricane coming, you hear flood, and you're thinking, oh, well, not happening today, and you relax.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think the pastor is probably it could have been within the pastor's realm to say he's not showing up today because he can also be putting himself in danger. Yeah. But yeah, it's something that Dave said. You want to get married?
I ain't sure yet. I used to want and I ain't sure yet.
You want a church wedding or?
Not really. No, and I want my wedding to be in a theater, and it must be a spectacle. If I do get married, it has to be a theatrical production with dancing and singing and music and all of that. Yeah.
All right. All I asked if it's a church wedding, but you look at how much more we get. That's interesting. So you done mentally plan it out?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure. That's for when I was like for sure sorting like, yeah, I want to get married. No, I'm not too sure. But if I do get married, that is how I would like it to be. Why are you sure you want to get married?
Boy, this is the interrogation.
Because men are becoming less and less appealing with their behavior. So I'm just...
okay. All right. Now, I always thought about like if I would. So number one, I think people who plan outdoor weddings, they're very brave. Either sun might be too hot or rain might come. So that is always like a thought of mine. I don't mind the idea like of a beach type wedding because I love beach, right? But I'm always so like I still pray like when I know people going to have an outdoor wedding that the weather actually holds up because I just thinking like all of that planning and preparation and everything just literally being washed out, right? But then for me, like I always thought that if I do get married, I want a church. Like I want to look for the oldest church in Vincent, right? You know, like these well, I would say Catholic church back in the day, not so much Catholic church now because it's done a lot of renovations. But there is this church in Caliocor. I'm not sure what denomination it is, but it's an old looking church, right? And the people who know me well know that I like this kind of
up in the
up
in the
inside
gap.
up inside
I know
the
what
gap.
you're talking about.
Right. So I like want to look for like the oldest looking church. No, I don't know. I think you might need to actually be a part of these churches to get married. I don't know. But like that was just like I like the backdrop of it, you know, the backdrop of like the stone and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, but don't think that I put a whole heap of thought into this, folks. But it's just I know for sure like that is the one thing that I would really like to have, like to be married in an old church. Yeah.
Hey, all right.
But not during a hurricane and not during somebody tell me it's an Anglican church. So but I don't even Anglican. Well, and I barely Catholic too.
Well, maybe the husband might be Anglican. I don't know. Can hope for the Anglican
I wonder
husband.
could you get married in a church? Like could I get married in an Anglican church if I'm not Anglican? So the person who answered me with that, if you know, they probably could tell me as well. So send the message on your WhatsApp because we had a head on out. But yeah. Imagine I want to go to people's church just to get married and not even be a part of the congregation. Bye. Anyways.
You'll go back the next Sunday.
All right. So.
Okay, we are now going to head out of this talk segment. It's 9:46 and we are going to head over to our community dateline.
WEFM.